Hey guys, so I thought I'd film outside today since it's super beautiful. Let me know what you think about outside lighting. My camera's having some trouble focusing, so bear with me on that. So today I'm going to be answering y'all's questions for me about my tattoos. I get a ton of questions on my Tumblr and Instagram and everything, and other than just showing you my tattoos, I thought I would answer your questions. So the first question I got is, how bad did it hurt? I'm going to go ahead and take my sweater off, just so you guys can kind of see my arms. Since I did make my last tattoo video, I have gotten 2 more tattoos. I got my Vulpix tattoo, and I got a tattoo on my leg, which you've probably seen on my Instagram. But anyways, back to the first question. How bad did it hurt? That's way too general for me to answer. Each tattoo hurts differently. It just depends on the person, it depends on the artist, depends on where you're getting it, obviously. Depends on a ton of things, and I don't really know how to measure pain either, so I never really know how to answer the question. Anyone that tells you that tattoos don't hurt at all is lying, or they only have a tattoo this big. I can promise you that. So the next question that I got is, are you planning on getting more tattoos? If so, where? And the answer is everywhere. I basically want to be covered except for possibly like my chest, neck, and face. But obviously far in the future. The next tattoo I am getting is another leg piece by Alex Strangler. I'm getting a cat bus in like 2 weeks, and I'm really excited. Sorry, my cat is over there. If you see me like looking over there, I'm just kind of peering at her. So the next question is, how old were you when you got your first tattoo, and which one is it? My first tattoo was, oh, wrong arm. Wow, that's embarrassing. My first tattoo was my dagger. It says fight off your demons. If you're more interested in it, you can go watch my other tattoo video, and I got it on the morning of my 18th birthday. Do you think you will ever regret getting a tattoo? And if you do, would you laser remove it? It depends. I'd probably try to get it covered up if I did get a tattoo that I didn't like. I have one tattoo that I'm not happy with, and I am getting it redone next weekend. So I'm just getting it fixed up. I'm not gonna do anything as drastic as getting laser removal because it's painful and expensive. I mean, so are tattoos, but I'd rather try to get it covered up with more art first. What's the longest you've sat for the tattoo, and which one is it? The longest I think I sat for a tattoo was my flowers. These 3 flowers, all on my forearm, I got done all at the same time. So the line work was probably the longest session. I think it was about 3 hours, maybe more. The tattoo I just got on my leg as well from Kurt Bretches, that took about 3 hours too. So I'd say like 3.5 hours is the longest I've sat for a tattoo. Which spots hurt the most to get tattooed? Which tattoo is your favorite? The spots that hurt the most were my 2 leg tattoos. I have one on the back of my calf and one on the back of my thigh, and they're hands down the most painful. And it's really hard for me to pick a favorite tattoo. I'd probably have to say either my lucky cat, which is hard to show because my shirt is tight, or maybe my tiny raindrop tattoo. I'm not sure though. I love all my tattoos. Where do you get your tattoos locally in the Virginia/Maryland area? Artists I've gone to in Virginia/Maryland. I've gone to Josh Stevens at Hold It Down Tattoo in Richmond, Tony Talbert at Golden Monkey Tattoo and Piercing in Fredericksburg, Virginia, Captain Morgan at Acme Tattoo and Piercing in Charlottesville, Virginia. I think those might be all the ones I've gotten in Virginia and Maryland. I've gotten a couple of tattoos up in Pennsylvania. I've gotten 3 tattoos in Pennsylvania, 1 out in California, and the rest I believe have been done in Virginia. I am hoping to go to Antonio Roque soon though. He's done some of Keith's tattoos and he's amazing, and he works in Frederick, Maryland. So I highly suggest checking him out. So the next question, are you planning your other arm? Is it going to be another sleeve? Yes, it is going to be another sleeve. So far I only have 1 tattoo, but I want this arm to be mostly black and gray. Maybe some reds in there, but I want it to be a mostly black and gray sleeve. Let's talk about aftercare. What soap and lotion do you use after, and how many times a day to apply it? I have a really hard time with that. Alright, so my aftercare process, I know aftercare is something that a lot of tattoo artists do differently and a lot of tattooed people do differently. If you have a different aftercare routine than I do, I couldn't think of the word for a second there, gosh, that's okay, but don't tell me mine is wrong, because it's working for me. So I usually get tattooed at night, and I just leave the bandage on for the first night. And then the morning after, I take it off, wash it with Dial soap, just the plain white soap, unscented. You don't want to use anything with colors or perfumes or any of that. And I wipe it off, or wash it off, and then I cover it with Aquaphor, and I keep it wrapped up for the first 3 nights. And after that, I switch from Aquaphor to just a white unscented lotion and just apply it as needed. That's worked for all my tattoos. All of them have healed great except for the one that I am getting reworked. So yeah, that's my aftercare process. It's pretty simple, I guess. I just keep it clean, keep it washed the first 3 days, and then after that I just wash it when I wash my body and keep lotion on it. Alright, so the next question is, how much should you tip for a tattoo? Well, I'm pretty broke, so I usually end up tipping like 20 or 30 bucks, sometimes 10 if it's a smaller tattoo, but I always tip my artist. That's just something that's really important. Next question. Let's see. Would you ever get a tattoo for one of your pets? Yes, I would get a tattoo for my cat Liza, who is over here right now. I rescued her from a shelter, and she's a really weird cat. She was rescued from a cat hoarder's home who had over 40 cats, dead cats everywhere. So she had a traumatic kittenhood, and she's not the friendliest cat in the world, but I love her with all of my heart, and I would get a tattoo for her. I want her to come over here so I can show her to you guys, but she hates being picked up. Hold on. Liza, say hi. You're okay. You're okay, big girl. She doesn't like to be held. Alright, and after that fiasco, I would get a tattoo for my cat. She's silly. What do your parents think about your tattoos? They definitely, well, they knew I was going to be getting tattooed, like, long before I ever started getting them. They're not, like, the biggest fan of them. My mom wants me to stop getting them so fast. But neither of my parents are really super against them anymore. Like, my dad used to be so against them, he hated them. But I think he dislikes piercings more, and at this point, he's just kind of, like, accepted that he can't really change the fact that I'm tattooed. So it's just something we don't really talk about anymore, and, my stepmom is tattooed, so she likes them. Like, she comes with me to my appointments sometimes, or she did when I was getting tattooed locally. So, yeah, that's what my parents think about my tattoos. Is it against tattoo etiquette to get your hands tattooed before a sleeve? If so, why? Yes, it is. First of all, it looks stupid. No offense, but if you have your hands tattooed and you don't have sleeves, it looks fucking dumb. Second of all, you need to know that you are able to commit to tattoos before you go and get your hands or your neck or your face tattooed. Those are places you're not going to be able to cover up with like a long sleeve t-shirt. Like, obviously my wrists and stuff are tattooed, which could pose a problem, but if I put on like a long sleeve button down shirt for like a job or something and nice pants, you can't see any of my tattoos. If you go out and get a hand tattoo or a neck tattoo as your first tattoo, you don't know if you're ready to be committed to those tattoos as much as you may think you are. And those are going to severely affect your job and your future. I know all tattoos will, but those extremely visible tattoos really are going to affect your future. Like 18, 19, 20-year-olds, I know I'm only 19, and I can say I would never get my hands or neck tattooed at the age I am now, because I don't think I could make a decision on something that visible on my body that's that permanent at the age I am now. And also, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what kind of career I'm gonna have, and I don't want to go and get something stupid tattooed across my fingers if it's going to affect whatever future career I might have. It's just really important to know that hand tattoos are a huge life decision. And other than that, it's just looks dumb, in my opinion. Alright, so next question. Did you know exactly what you wanted before you got them? Because it seems like you got them one after another. I did know what I wanted from my first couple ones. I was pretty set on them. And then as time went on, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I like that, let's get that. The more tattoos I get, the less I kind of care about the meaning behind the tattoos, which I know is a common thing. But yeah, it applies to me as well. Next question. Would you ever get a face tattoo? I don't think so. That obviously may change in the future, but as of now, I do not want any face tattoos. The only thing I might ever possibly do would be get a cosmetic eyebrow tattoo, but those do fade in about 5 to 10 years. So I don't know if I would personally ever get a face tattoo. Have you been judged / turned away from a job because of your tattoos? Nope. I am extremely lucky. I'm a server. At the moment, I'm a waitress. I'm allowed to show my tattoos, show my piercings. My boss is an old-time man, and he doesn't give a shit. Since I've been tattooed, I've also worked at a sandwich shop and a coffee shop, and none of my employers have cared about my tattoos, so I've been super lucky in that respect. Next question. Are you afraid that you'll possibly run out of room for new tattoos someday? Yes, obviously I am. I'm going to run out of tattoo room eventually someday, and I'm going to be very sad. But it happens, and I'm going to be covered in beautiful art, and I won't have to spend money or time or pain getting tattooed anymore, so that probably won't happen until I'm like 30s or 40s, but you know. Alright, I'm gonna do the last question. There were more questions, but my camera's dying, and there's kids like playing out at recess at the elementary school behind my house, so it's getting louder and louder. Last question. Most expensive tattoo and any advice to people planning to have their first tattoo? My most expensive tattoo so far was this moth that I got done by Josh Stevens. I believe it was $320. I'm not 100% sure. It was my most expensive tattoo, but I also love it. It was beautifully done. I think it was worth every single cent that I paid for it. And for anyone planning to get your first tattoo, I say do your research first. Find an artist you love who specializes in your style. Don't just go to the first tattoo shop you see, or that's a mistake a lot of people make when they're getting their first tattoos, and I think it's really important to choose your artist carefully, especially for your first tattoo, so you can start your tattoo journey out with a good experience. Alright folks, so that's all. Thanks for sending me questions, thanks for watching my video, and hopefully I'll be making more soon, so stay tuned. Bye!